workshop, and it's indeed a great privilege to have you all. So a lot more people will be joining in the process, but we'll be beginning. So a lot of you have already joined. So hi, Sonali. It's so great to have you. We always get your question on walk and talk. So hi, you all can unmute yourself and talk. Hi, Sonali.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, I receive great questions from you every day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So it's great. It's a great privilege to get to meet you. Thank you. We receive great questions from you on Walk and Talk. In fact, tomorrow I'll be answering some of your questions.
It's a lot,
So
ma'am.
thank you. It's a great privilege to have you all. Poonam, hi. So we also have our tarot readers in house.
Hi.
Poonam is a certified tarot reader from our QD8. So she's officially one of those who can you can see in our Facebook group going live. It's only for those who are my students have the privilege to go live there. So you can catch her live and watch her reading. She is a certified reader. You can watch her reading. All of you here and who will watch the replay. You can watch her reading. She's excellent with her reading. She listened not recently. It's been a long time since she graduated with her tarot course. So great to see you, Poonam. Hi, Trevor. Hi, Farida. Long time. Hi, Niru. Niru Gautam. I see your comments so many times. Like, wow, I am seeing it. Hi, Jyoti. Joshna.
वो जूम मीटिंग लाई है.
Niru, I see your comments so many times. Like, it's privileged to get to meet you. Like, I am feeling excited. Like, wow.
Same here, ma'am. I also like follow you so many times, and I like so many. I seriously like your stuff. I liked a lot.
It's really great to have all of you. So a lot of people are joining. So we're just going slow till everybody joins in because I expect there's a time span. I don't know what time span it is. Hi, Shauna. Thank you for joining. Hi, Archana. I think this is our first meeting. She reached out to me in the morning, and so a lot of you have joined, yet though most of you are yet to join. Hi, Archana. Hi. Yes, so we will be proceeding to begin because anyway, the recording is available and everybody will be getting the recording. And there's a lot of surprises that you all have. So wait, tell me. I love to get surprises. Oh my God, Amita is here after a long time. It's so great to see known faces again and again, like that's a huge privilege. That's like I feel enormous gratitude that you all love me so much that you all stick throughout the beginning of my journey till now. I've always had you people. So thank you. Before beginning, I would first and foremost love to thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. And Ishita is also here. She's also been a part of the journey for a really long time. So yes, so we begin now. So what is inner child healing? What is inner child? Your inner child is yourself, you yourself between the age of 0 to 7, the time of your conception, to the age of 7. Also before your conception, it is considered because how your mother is interacting with somebody else, your mother's interaction in the in-laws with her mother, their relationship, those also play spiritual conditioning of your inner child. And also your father's wounds, your ancestral energy, they formulate the spiritual wounds around your inner child. But we'll come to that later. We'll talk about the psychological aspects of inner child, which I mainly focus on in every video you all will see. So between the age of 0 to 7, there are conditionings that get formulated. And these conditionings that which get formulated, that come from how our parents are treating us. That comes from what is the kind of relationship we are sharing with our parents, how our parents are choosing to talk to us, how our parents are choosing to behave with us, and also how our parents are choosing to behave in between themselves and with their family members. Everything impacts and where you are situated, like which area you're born, what is your neighborhood like, what is the conversation going on in the neighborhood. Because a lot of time a child will pick up slangs from neighborhood and or from the peer circle. So it also depends on your peer circle, and obviously furthermore your peer circle is impacted by their society, by their friend circle, by their family members, and the chain goes on. With this chain being said, you can already understand that it's a quite a bit entangled process, but psychologists over the past many years have researched and made it easier for us through various modalities and through various modules. And at this point of time, we have a much more clear understanding of the woundings and the patterns that have come through. So there are various patterns that we come across, and many of you, I'm sure, have come across various patterns. So who would like to share some of the conditioning that is affecting your inner child, that which brings you here? Who would like to share? So anyone who would like to share, you can unmute yourself and start talking. Any leads? Okay, I will probably have to call out then. Sucheta, I'm sure you have a lot to share. And it's so great to have you. So who would like to share? Mom, that relationship were not good. Okay, Archana has to say that mom and dad's relationship were not good. So anyone, y'all can like unmute yourself and talk. This is an interactive workshop, so you can really unmute yourself and talk. Yes, Shaunak, there's something you would like to share. Hello. Come on, someone take the lead. Okay. All right. So since no question, okay,
Hi,
finally.
am
Yes,
I
hi.
audible, right?
Yes, absolutely. May I know your name?
So yeah, so
Yes,
I
Shaunak,
think
yes.
I think like the relationship between mom and dad that
Yes.
plays like a very important role in the person I am, and obviously my inner my inner child, because I
Yes.
think that upbringing affects a lot in making you the person you are, and like choosing the right decisions that you need to make in life. Because like at a young age, we have the urge and we have the tendency to look around, right? So the person who is close to us inspires us a lot. And you can actually relate that because you have also seen that others are always telling you that I and my mom are extremely quite like similar in nature, or our like habits are like not alike. So I think that upbringing and the relationship between mom and father is very important. And also I think that teaching the kids the right path, and giving him a touch of spirituality and psychology helps a lot to make like the bring out the best out of him. Because at a later stage he is very fickle minded, right? and it can affect his decisions a lot. So I think that that if like a lot of people are aware of spirituality, human interaction, psychology at a very young age, and if that is made a proper education from a very young age, it can help a lot in the basic in the basic construction of your inner child, and also it will help you make being a better person and make your decisions correctly. So yeah, so this is
Absolutely.
this is
Thank
nice.
you. That was really amazing. And yeah, what you shared is extremely vital. And absolutely, the schools should include those studies at a very young age. We hardly get the humanities students get to study it at 11 and 12. Otherwise, students have no idea about it and they're studying basic biology and physics. And I'm sure, Shaunak, you were reared up in Calcutta. You have a lot to share on this. Even our schools, our teachers play a very pivotal role in impacting the inner child and sabotaging our confidence. What do you say on that? Like, Shaunak, can you take on the fact that
Yeah.
our
So like
schools and teachers also have an impact on the inner child?
yeah, and like actually, like as you already just know me, that I used to say Kolkata, but my work life has shifted me to Mumbai. So there has been, I have observed, there has been schools in Mumbai, especially the ICSE boards, that has actually made psychology compulsory from class 8. So I
Wow.
think that's pretty nice decisions. And I think that Kolkata and all the Calcutta people, and also like the too many important aspects that should be taught from a young age is like psychology, spirituality, and sex education. Because I think these things are very important to maintaining the integrity of a person, and obviously it will create a lot of awareness. And since I am a data scientist, so I have researched that a lot of people, like generally 21.6% increase in the previous percentage, a lot of people have been like suffering from anxiety, depression, and they have committed like suicide. So I think if the person actually identifies his integrity, his inner child, maybe the outcome has been a lot different. Maybe the environment plays an important role. And I think that like more than the relationship between our mom and dad, the environment and the society also plays an important role in affecting the inner child of someone. Because at a young age, we tend to believe others far more than ourselves. So yeah.
Absolutely. Everything that is said is exactly on point. So what I was telling is that a lot of times what happens is that even schools, the teachers, how the teachers are treating the child, that further impacts the child a lot. So Amita had a very important point to share. So hi Amita. Hello. Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. Yes. So you had to share that about the girl child and boy child thing. So how has that impacted you?
Yeah. Um, can I talk in Hindi?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Actually, from childhood, कैसे होता है कि we are 3 sisters. तो बचपन से सब बोलते थे अरे ब्रदर नहीं है आपको, ऐसे कैसे? तो मम्मी को भी टॉर्चर किया जाता था, क्या लड़का नहीं हुआ आप तक, तीनों लड़कियां, ये सब इम्पैक्ट मैं बचपन से देखते आ रही थी. बट मैं मॉम एंड डैड कभी ऐसा नहीं सोचते थे कि हाँ लड़का नहीं है. उन्होंने हमको लड़के की तरह ही सब कुछ पढ़ाया और ये सब किया. बट द सोसाइटी इज मतलब इंक्लूडिंग योर रिलेटिव्स एंड नेबरहुड और सब ऐसे सोचते थे कि लड़कियां है अभी क्या होगा, मतलब कुछ फायदा नहीं. तो ये इम्पैक्ट बहुत होता था मुझे तब से. ऐसे है कि लड़की होना कुछ गुनाह है क्या, मतलब लड़कियां भी बहुत कुछ करती है. हम लोग तो लड़कियां लड़कों से ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट भी होती है. पढ़ाई में भी और ये, और हम लोग बहुत टॉप, मतलब स्कूल से टाइम से हम लोग पढ़ाई में भी अच्छे थे सब में। और अब भी जाके जब आता है तो जो बोलने वाले थे जिनको लड़के हैं, तो उनको सामने दिखता है कि वो लड़के उनको, उनके पेरेंट्स को नहीं पूछते, बल्कि हम लोग अभी लड़कियां हैं तो हम लोग हमारी मम्मी को इतना, मतलब लड़का भी कोई नहीं रख सकता है, ऐसे रखते हैं, तो वो दे गेट जेलस ऑफ माई मॉम। बट ये ब्रिंगिंग हुई कि लड़की होना कोई गुनाह है, ये बहुत, मतलब उस टाइम पे ऐसे होता था कि हाँ अब ऐसे मत बोलो, तुम लड़की हो, किसी से ऐसे बात नहीं करना चाहिए, इतना हंसना नहीं चाहिए, बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए, आफ्टर 7 PM मतलब घर के बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए। कहीं भी घूमने जाना है तो कोई तो साथ नहीं है, लड़की हो तुम नहीं जा सकती।
आप कहाँ से?
मतलब मुंबई, मतलब महाराष्ट्र।
Goodness. Yes, definitely. This is also another prevalent issue, like girl child, boy child. That's one of the main issues why girl child get killed. Yes, Ishita also has something important to share. Hi, Ishita. Ishita has a completely different perspective to share. Hi, Ishita.
Hi.
Hi, how
Hi.
are you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
fine. You?
I'm good. So tell, what would you like to share?
Actually, I can't tell right now because আমি আমার actually আমার সামনে এখন অনেকে আছে, so
Okay, okay, all
I
right.
can't talk to you right now. So
All right,
thank
okay.
you.
Thank you. All right. So Ishita has been typing about the fact that she's grown up in a way where she lost her parents at a very young age. I know her story because she's been my client for a long time. So, and she has been made to feel not so wanted by her own family members. So she's seen that life too and struggled for a long time too. So yes, definitely your inner child, your upbringing, your society, how people are treating you plays a very pivotal role in shaping everything. And that very thing is what determines how much successful you will be in the long term and how confident you will be in the long term, because your confidence rate is something that is literally hammered by how people and society treat you, because you start to question, like, am I good enough, am I good enough? And yes, it starts from the very time of your conception when you're very born. Like, it starts with like, oh my god, this is a girl child, this is a boy child, this she'll just go away and she's not going to be staying here, she's not a part of us, and all these conditioning come into play. So with that being said, with all these conditioning coming into play, a child literally gets into a trap, into a box where the child is constantly seeking for validation on the outside. The child is wanting to be seen, the child is wanting to be heard, and the child is always questioning their word. The child is always questioning if the child is good for anything at all. And that completely causes the fickle mindedness, the confusion, and that energy that I might be a burden. The child might feel like I might be adopted, like I was just born out of an error. All these conditioning come into play because of the way society or family members they treat us, because again they are not conscious, they are not aware themselves about psychology or how it can affect, because they're also playing out their own triggers, their own emotional wounds which they have never healed. And that is why this chain has been going on, and this generation particularly, we are coming into a state of awareness, and with that awareness comes the need of healing, comes the need of taking responsibility for healing, and all the wounds that are there of our inner child, that are there of parts of us within, those parts of us are literally blistering in pain because they have unspoken things to say, and everything that is there that they have to say. And yes, Suchita has to say body shaming. Body shaming comes these days at a very young age. Like, something is really wrong with these aunties, because they literally have a thing to see if the child is fair or dark. Like I've really seen aunties do that, with due respect to all the good aunties out there who watch my videos. But I have seen like a child being considered as a fat child or a skinny child, or the child has a fair skin tone or dark skin tone, and that's like prevalent in the societal setup, and even grandmothers do it. And that's like a typical mother-in-law thing, which we've seen in TV serials and all that. And TV serials is another reason probably why these conditionings are coming into interplay, because they're just aggravating the weaknesses of the society. And all that negativity that are said in our conditioning, what happens is that the inner child slowly starts to put itself in a shell, which is you. You're putting yourself in a layer. And the first layer probably is, I'm not good enough. I was born as a burden. I shouldn't be living. So the first conditioning you have after born is like, oh my God, I made a mistake coming here. So already you have that feeling like I can't fit in, because you are already feeling like you're a burden. So of course you can't fit in, because you're like, oh my God, why did I come here? I did I make a mistake coming here? Like, hello, like why are you guys fighting? Especially if the parents are fighting. The child literally gets into that stage, and I've been there. So I know how it really feels. And what happens is that there's this first layer where the first layer is born, I'm not good enough. And with that, I'm not good enough layering, the perspective, the body language, the behavior, the way the child is speaking, the way the child is interacting, the way the child is coming off energetically are all shaped. That's when the child is going to school. And then in that state, the child is kind of scared. And if the parents are fighting regularly or howling at the child or comparing the child to other children, that's also prevalent in the society, where, oh my God, how much marks did you get? Oh my God, you got a C grade, my daughter got A grade. And then the parents will start gossiping, and then one parent will come back and lash out, and then there might be round table conferences of like, oh my God, what will happen to the child's future? Because the child's merit is determined by how much marks the child is getting. And that marks, whatever the child is getting, determination that they're doing, that further impacts the child when the child is going to earn. Because again, there's that insecurity complex, inferiority complex that is being born in a human, and this is what makes a person lash out on another person. This is what makes a person really feel jealous of another person. This is what makes a person feel like everything is unjustified in their life, because those conditioning have caused emotional blockages and thought processes internally. So going back to that internal initial layer of I'm not good enough, with a lot of problems coming in, the child literally gets into a shell where the child is literally trembling inside, because it's a child and there's a lot of issues, a lot of chaos going on. Obviously, the heart of the child will start to tremble and have a lot of fear and anxiety. And the child cannot really understand, okay, I am feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling depressed. The child cannot differentiate or feel that. So this exactly what happens is that the child starts to get impacted on their physical health. So a lot of you might have noticed that all of you, if you have had childhood issues, you guys might have been really sick in the childhood. Maybe your health. How many of you have noticed this pattern? Parents who are beggars should not. Okay, yeah, all right. So Ishita is sharing that people have told her that you shouldn't wear gold, you shouldn't wear this, you should be treated like a beggar. And that's how terrible society is, of making people feel like, oh, you don't really, I'm not responsible for you. That is the kind of energy often relatives give out. And anybody who has experienced a difficult childhood, who were either reared up in orphanage or reared up with some relatives and go through a phase where they feel like they owe something to somebody else. And with that feeling of I owe something to someone else at a very young age, the restlessness is born for working and taking actions. And this is again going back to that initial trigger and anxiety that is formulated in the child. So can anyone comment down below? So how many of you have had an experience of having to be sick all throughout your childhood in the initial years?
So, yeah.
Yes.
So, like the main problem is that, like, another important aspect here is the environment at your school,
Yeah.
right? Like, if anyone has some disability, right? Or like I used to have a lot of hammering problem, right? So it
Hmm.
used to take me half an hour to just utter a alphabet. So yeah, so I have been faced with some really bad bullying. I have been beaten up by people. So my school life has been very pathetic. Like from class 1 to class
Hmm.
12 in the same school with the same group of people. So I think the society here plays an important role because, as you know, there is a proverb in Bangla, এই অন্যায় যে সহে আর অন্যায় যে দেখে দুজনে সমান প্রাপ্য.
Yes.
Like people who faces such bad things and people who are
Tolerate
seeing
that.
bad things happening in front of them, but they're still doing nothing. It's equally blamed to have this. So another thing I would like to comment that, like in school, we have sick room, right? So I think having a counselor or a psychiatrist in school is also very important. Not
Hmm.
only in school, in every organization, in the IT workplace, because not everything anxiety and depressions come from having a very bad childhood or being bullied in school. Anxiety can be because of your work anxiety. It can be a
Yeah.
different thing. So every organization should have this responsibility of keeping a psychiatrist or a counselor who can they actually help them, or actually take help from them to away from this, because I have seen that many people are stressed, like body shaming, then like being at the end, being at the user end of being racist or having a very bad past, and they have been dragged to take some drastic changes in their life because they didn't have anyone in their life to seek help from. So I think that that everyone should be first to connect with someone who they think they can actually take help from. And all this starts from your childhood. Like if
Yes.
like if they face any kind of bullying, they should seek help or they should protest against it. Because if you are the end user of everything, you are the one be blamed also. So I
Yeah.
think like being being vocal against the action is also very important. And in this society, one of the main reasons is body shaming, bullying, and the caste system. Like I have seen people being racist or being rude to others because he has been from a very lower caste, or someone having a dark skin, or someone is very having irregular irregular shapes in their body, or they are a bit, or they are being a bit healthy. So I think this society, like, are these students in school or our parents are to be entirely blamed for this? I think no, because they have been learning and they have been accepting all this from the stereotype environment that is all around. So if anyone takes the progress or anyone has the guts to change someone, then maybe that person could also affect someone else. So I think everything starts from a basic root. So being vocal about anything bad happening to you is very important because it
Absolutely.
will
Yes.
in the long run.
Absolutely true.
A lot of people, in fact, have a problem to reach out to a therapist or reach out to a coach because they start to feel guilty because of what that they are going through. Most of the children, what happens to them is that they get into a guilt trap and they ultimately get introverted and just try to subjugate themselves away from the society, stay away, stay aloof. Again, this is where the bully energy is attracted because the child is already coming in the conditioning, and your conditioning determines your body language, your behavior, your energy, your spiritual energy, and everything. And wherever that stands, based on that, since the other person is your mirror reflection, or rather your body language provokes the other person in some way or stimulates the other person in some way to react, the reaction that the person who's going through this conditioning attracts is that of bully. And the impact that formulates after a bully energy is that there's a lot of anger, grievance, revenge, vengeance energy stored. That later leads into rebelliousness energy, burnout energy, later leads to poverty consciousness energy, later leads to complaining energy, later leads to feeling of entitlement or feeling of extreme codependency. And these are the root, how it expands to formulate that. I have talked about this on a very deeper way with almost 30 chapters where each are blocked in my recent book, which I'll definitely share with you all in the group. So there I've actually talked about each of the layers and how you talk and clear out those. And there I have talked about a method where you go within and integrate. So what today we'll be doing is some healing, because this is a healing workshop, and some integration. So all of you go to that part of you which is really hurting. Go to that part of you where that little inner child in you, you literally can consider it to be a molecule. Internally, you feel it like a little part, literally like a molecular particle, you will feel it. So go to that molecular particle inside your heart space, where even now when you look back at your childhood, think of the time when you were bullied, think of the pathetic phases that you've been through. That place really, really hurts because whatever it has gone through, justice was not really served to it. So whichever that part is, go to that part. Go within to that aspect. Sit with that aspect. And the pressure that's being built up there, start feeling the pressure. In other words, start loving the pressure. So imagine there's a part of you which is in a lot of pressure, or rather you can feel it. So you're trying to break free from the pressure by giving it love. So start loving that pressure energy, and the more you love it, the more it will loosen up. Just continue to love it. And wherever it's really difficult to love and it's really hurting you and it's really causing a lot of pressure and it's really like feels like you cannot really love it, that no love, no energy is penetrating through it because it's just a stuck up positioning. How many of you are feeling it? How many of you are feeling it? Comment down below for whoever are feeling it. Someone has commented. Okay, Archana. Okay, hi Archana, you can unmute yourself so we can dive deeper together so that others can get a clarity about it. Hi Archana. Okay, all right. So okay, go within to that space. Sit with that place wherever you are feeling a pressure is being formulated. As you sit with that place and continue to love it, the energy that is stored in there, as you breathe out, the energy stored in there will release itself and you'll feel a sense of light body which can literally fly. That does not mean that all the parts that is hurting or are causing a sense of conjunction are gone. So still, wherever you feel a sense of blockage, sense of I can't breathe, I cannot take this conjunction, wherever you're sensing that, choose to love that part. And as you love that part, you're getting into a deeper part within where you might be feeling your fear coming up, all your fear, all the energy that are attracted to the word fear internally are going to be reactive, and all the fear energy that comes up as you choose to love yourself there. Continue to love yourself there. Anywhere there you might be feeling a barricade, just continue to love yourself there. There's someone else who commented. Okay, you're feeling it. Okay, let's see who commented. How do you see the messages? Yeah. Whoever, like I'm not being able to see the message, right? Okay, here's how you read the chat. Okay, okay, you're feeling Sonali. Hi, Sonali. You can unmute yourself if you want. And Sonali, you've done the work with me, so you have an idea. So hi, Sonali. Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. So you are feeling that fear space now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. As you go there to that fear space, that tiny little molecule that which is kind of choosing to run away, as you stop that and hold that and love it, the energy stored in that molecule is further releasing itself. Feeling a sense of relaxation now?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I can't recognize which type of fear I am feeling.
That's
I mean,
okay. But the energy of fear, you can get a download later of that. But the point is to release it first. So, do you sense a part of anxiousness
yes, ma'am.
in your high heart area,
Sorry.
in the zone,
Yes, ma'am.
like between your
Yes, yes.
throat and heart, chest rather? So, wherever you're sensing that, go to that space. And again, love that tiny little molecule. Just consider every emotion to be a molecule and just hold that molecule close to your heart and love it. Till the energy stored in it can release, or breathe in the heaviness and breathe it out till that molecule relaxes completely and releases. So whatever in you is still holding something back because you feel like a lack of awareness to truly get it back and you're holding on to some kind of pain. Can you relate to it, Sonali?
Yes, ma'am.
So go to that space and continue to be in your heart space and continue to love the space, and each of those molecules will release its attachment. You'll be able to breathe more. How do you feel now?
Very light.
Like any other, like I think your emotions are coming up in the lower body space right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So wherever the energy is, this is for everybody. So Sonali and everybody, all are in a synchronous energy right now because that's of energy of collective consciousness. Because I'm tapping into the emotions of the collective at this point of time. So wherever the heaviness that you are facing in this area, going towards your chest space, just love this energy and assure yourself that you can let it go and free yourself from it and You'll not get into any kind of trouble. You are free. You are not going to be answerable to anybody. Nobody is going to scold you. Nobody is going to put you in a position of confusion. You are safe. You can let it go. You got your answer now? So Nadi, you got your answer?
No, ma'am. I'm getting very confusing.
Okay. So sit with that confusion, energy, and the pressure that is there. Continue to love it. You'll not be scolded. Now getting a clarity?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll not be scolded. You'll not be put in a false position. Nobody is going to shout. You are free. You can breathe. You can let that little particle go. If you let it go, nobody will harm you more. And if you let it stay, you're not going to be saved. So it's just going to hurt you more. So as you let that part go and love it, breathe in the heaviness and breathe out. So still the part you're holding on to is a fear. A lot of you have that of someone else is going to tell you something, someone else is going to put you in a false position, someone else is going to say something and cause some issue for you. Because of someone else, something will happen. So the someone else, and because of that, something will happen energy. Wherever you have that in your whole system, go to that place wherever the someone else can do something to you. Wherever someone, all of you, wherever someone else is doing something to you, when I'm saying it, the particular part that is hurting, love that. Someone else cannot do something to you unless and until you feel it. How you feel is completely up to you. And that's taking accountability. So as you go to that space and love yourself, and breathe out the heavy energy, anything coming in between, and where you can't breathe, where you can't be at peace, embrace that as the energy stored in it can release. This is energetic healing that we are doing. The energy that is stored in your ancestors' energy, your spiritual energy is always released as your energetic expansion and release happens internally in all those places of those blocks of those molecules internally, because these are spiritual molecules or spirit molecules which are relaxing and releasing and unifying itself and coming out of the fragmentation process. So the fragmented particles of you are the different molecules, and when the molecules have those energies stored within, and those energies, when feel a sense of relaxation, again get back into the process of unification, and you feel a sense of oneness and a state of liquidity with all that is, and get back to a state of alignment internally. That's the process. So wherever parts of you are still scared and still hardened, rather, because of the energy, and something where you've not really got justice and you really seek justice. So this wounded particle is where the ultimate freedom is going to happen for all of you in this magical session, where this part of yours is having that pain that I want justice. So as we love it and release the fear energy, you automatically shift to a vibration where you'll be receiving justice. So as we release the fear entangled in that molecule by breathing in and breathing out the heaviness and loving that space in each layer till we have reached a real quotient point of the molecule. This is how really deep the inner work goes. And I'm really thankful to God that it's privileged to get to show you all the method, because a lot of you here are twin flames and you all need to do inner work every day. I know the twin flame journey. going through that for years, so I know the journey. So, how many here are in the twin flame journey? Sucheta, I know. Ishita, I know. So, go to this space and you feel extreme pressure even now, but the pressure is a lot lesser. Sit with that. Choose to love that place. And as you love that place, all the fears entangled there are going to release, and you might be feeling like literally birds are coming out and flying out of your system. And you'll feel a lot more lighter, a lot more peaceful, a lot more in alignment. And it is happening here and now with you, this magical transformation. So, with that being said, how do you all feel? Neeru says, touch wood, I'm not in the journey. Like, okay. Yeah, truly, I can understand. So, anywhere, any pain remaining in you, any barricade, little hammering in you, for anyone that I'm catching up in the collective, release that part of you and assure that part that justice will be served to you and what you want in that part. Yes, some pressure in throat. So we are going to that pressure area. We're going like the throat pressure you feel, you're feeling it ultimately from here, right? So whatever you feel in any part, I am pinching myself here. I'm feeling it here. Wherever you're feeling it, that molecule part where you feel it, go to that pressure point, and that pressure point is there because any pressure point is, this will free you all permanently out of any blockages, because any pressure point that is there, the pressure point is there because you want something and something else is happening and the fight is happening because of that. When you release the fear that what you want is not happening, so what I want is not happening, that is the pressure. So what I want is, so say the pressure point is that your inner child is in a state that I really want to be free. So this part is saying I am not free. So since you said throat chakra, this is the example I'm giving because throat chakra is more about freedom. So I am not free. So wherever you're not feeling the sense of freedom, there is that pressure. So as you go to that place where the pressure is, you're going and telling that part that you are free, and wherever you're not feeling freedom, you can release the pressure. Fear that comes is that if I release the pressure, will I get freedom? Or what if I release the pressure, I never get freedom? Wherever you feel you release the pressure, you never get freedom. That's where you need to make yourself understand that when you release the pressure, only then you will get what you want. And upon understanding it, wherever you feel pressure, go and tell that pressure, whatever you want, you'll get that once you release the pressure and release the pressure. How do you all feel? Who would like to go ahead and share your experience about this healing journey? Hi, Thero. How was your experience? Hello? Well, Bhari, okay. Archana says that she's feeling heaviness in crown chakra. So wherever there is still heaviness in your system, go to that state of heaviness. Again, that heaviness that you feel in the internal molecule within. As you continue to do the inner work, you will feel the molecular expression of that particle inside your heart space, because everything is happening here inside of you. So wherever that pressure you're feeling, again telling that pressure and assuring it that whatever it is pressurized for, that pressurization will come through as long as the pressure is there. But the moment you choose to release the pressure, adhere to it, you will be feeling a sense of freedom. With that being said, you might again be feeling that falcons and birds flying out of your chest area, making yourself healed. So wherever there is shaky energy, there is triggers coming up, and any part that is really triggers sticking inside of you, which have been once again lit up and go to that space. Now, okay, wherever I say you feel emotional and triggered and your hands are shaking, great, it's all connected. So go to that part where you literally feel, this is called learned helplessness, by the way. This part is really feeling helpless because it's like I am telling I have freedom. Where is the freedom? I really want it. I want the miracle. So there is this hidden particle which is anxious that is miracle, the impossible, really possible. So assure that part that impossible is possible when you believe. And again, release the energy imprint stored in there. And as you are releasing it, any energy that is stored in your energy system, any conjunction that you're still feeling, any weird responses of your neurotransmitters that are really stuck here, you might be feeling it that way. Wherever stuck energy you have, that little energy you are choosing not to let go because of some fear you're holding on to, because you just cannot believe that miracle that possible and things can really fall in place in your favor and things can really be in your favor. You can be that magically lucky person wherever you think that luck cannot come to you or you cannot get lucky or the exceptional shift cannot happen or the breakthrough cannot happen. Wherever you're just denying yourself that breakthrough, we're going to that breakthrough point. Go there and love yourself there and choose to give yourself the breakthrough. Go to that point internally where there's a lot of pressure and wherever the energy is stored, that breakthrough will not come. Release the energy that is there. The entangled energy basically has to say breakthrough will not come. And you're releasing the breakthrough will not come energy and choosing the breakthrough, as again you will be feeling birds pushing itself out and flying out. So how do you all feel? Yes, absolutely. So wherever there is trigger with your self-love, with your triggers, where you really feel internally in any place where there is negativity still stored and fear still stored, where you feel like you don't deserve your love or you don't deserve love of anybody, you just don't deserve love. Wherever you felt that, just go to that internal pressure point in your inner space. And wherever this anger, this part is holding a lot of anger. Anger is also storing a lot of energy. And as it chooses not to be angry and releases the anger to get the justice, as it releases the anger, a more sense of expansion and relaxation you will feel, Ishita. So who would like to comment or go ahead and share? Suchita, do you want to unmute yourself and share your experience? Hello. Anyone who would like to share your experiences?
Yeah, I would
Yes.
like to share it.
Absolutely. Yeah. How do you feel now?
Actually, I'm feeling a little lighter now. I tried to imagine my whole childhood, which was little traumatic. But initially, I was like feeling when someone was sharing his experience, I was thinking, yeah, my childhood was better. I think there is nothing which is like was a bad experience, but then I realized no, there was some experiences I have faced, like societal cruelness, you can say. Sometimes people say anything, and being a child, we are not aware about so many things. We don't know the actual thing, and we accept the way they said it. And sometimes these things trigger in our, like, go inside us, and they like bother us a lot at that time, but we can't do anything. And there's so many experiences I recalled them, and there was lots of experiences uh, I have like faced, जो आई कैन से कि वो बहुत ही बुरे रहे हैं, और उन चीज़ों की वजह से आई थिंक आई वाज़ ऑलवेज़ अ चाइल्ड हू यूजुअली टॉक टू माई सेल्फ, माई इनर सेल्फ, एंड आई यूजुअली काम माई सेल्फ, नहीं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता और समथिंग लाइक दैट। बट अभी आपका ये हीलिंग सेशन लेने के बाद आई गो थ्रू विद ऑल दोज थिंग्स, एंड बट समवेयर आई फेल्ट इट लाइक एक ऐसी सिचुएशन थी मेरी लाइफ में जिसको मैं रिलीज कर ही नहीं पा रही हूँ। आई डोंट नो।
Let's try doing that now, because when we do it for you, maybe someone else here will be relating to it. Because everybody has things related.
Because that person I usually face and listen about that person, he's doing well in that in his life, and maybe that's why my inner self is saying, how can you like forgive that person because he's doing well, or he did wrong, and he should face his karma. My inner
Okay.
self is saying this to me,
Okay.
that
So
he should
whenever you
face
have this grievance and anger, go to that part.
maybe I'm not feeling much angry, but still I don't know, I don't want to release it. Matlab ki I want that he should face his
Okay.
karma.
All right. Great. So wherever you don't want to release it, I'll give you the theory. You want
Okay.
him to face his karma, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, I want him to face his karma. You have to release the anger and release the energy stored here, and then he can face his karma. You're not letting him face the karma. You are
Yeah.
facing the karma on his behalf by feeling that pain. Why isn't he facing the karma? So the part of you which is like he's not facing the karma is feeling the pressure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not feeling the pressure. I mean, he's not feeling that karma is the pressure that is there. Love that pressure and release the energy stored to it and assure it that he is facing the karma. You can release the pressure and you can relax. Like, I need to relax. You as in I as in you need to relax. He
Okay.
is facing the karma, so you can relax. And once you release the energy stored here, he's going to face the karma. So he is facing the karma and I am choosing to relax. How does that feel now as you release this energy?
It is little lighter, you know,
Breathe
when
in deeper and like I can really sense your heaviness. So the little tiny part you're holding on to, where you kind of fear that if you really let it go, the justice will not come to you. So the pressure point that is created when I'm saying justice energetically, love that. Keep on loving that. Just imagine it's a tiny portion point which you're loving. And more you love, it's releasing itself and becoming more fluidic. And as you breathe in and out, how do you feel?
I'm feeling, you know, amazing. I'm feeling so light right now.
Congratulations. So hi Sonali, Sonali is I'm going to be sharing another interesting thing with you all, because Sonali is someone I love because of a question. Now she's again given me an amazing question, that how do you realize the layer of your fear? So Sonali, which exactly is the place you're feeling the fear? And
I'm center of my heart.
center of your heart, as you sit with that fear, how do you feel?
A lot of
How?
fear, and I can't recognize.
No, you don't have to recognize. Just tell me the
Which
feeling first. Yeah, we'll go to that. First, tell me, how are you feeling about the fear now? Sonali?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the fear right now? Like right now, how is that fear making you feel? Anxious, helpless.
Yes, ma'am.
When else have you felt anxious and helpless, and who has made you feel helpless? Which is the exact moment when you feel very helpless. Whenever that is, who is the person who always makes you feel helpless and who you're fighting with? And whoever that is that you were fighting with and who is constantly making you feel helpless, whoever who is making you feel helpless, and the pressure that is being built up because of that learned helplessness, you're choosing to feel helpless and give that power away to that person. Now you get a clarity about who that is. Sonali, hello?
My father.
Yes, yes, you got a clarity about the root.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so now go to that fear where you're giving him the power away and you're constantly feeling that whatever he wants is happening. So do you see that there's this part which has believed that way? So let's try to change the belief. Like maximum what can happen, his behavior will change. So why not take the leap of faith? What do you say? Sonali? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. So are you ready to take the leap of faith to believe and trust that, okay, a version of my father who's not making me feel helpless is possible?
Yes, ma'am.
As you choose that, can you release the energy stored in between and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out the pressure?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel now?
Little lighter.
Okay. Still, wherever there is fear and a lot of pain, because you've just been through a lot and it's just unbearable amount of pain that is there in your system. You really want freedom and justice. And freedom and justice, I think, is the common theme of the day. Wherever this freedom and justice, you really are sulking for it, but have been denied access to it. Wherever this pressure is, in that pressured zone, breathe in the heaviness and breathe out and love that conjunction zone as it melts and integrates in your system, and you can completely relax. Continue to do it as each part which are literally hammering internally can release the pressure and tangle in it. Breathe in the pressure and breathe out the energy stored. And you can just relax now and feel like a part of you is flying from within. How do you feel now?
Great.
Great.
Lighter.
Okay. So I have more questions. Who have questions? So just give me a second. Ma'am, आप बंद करने पर third eye वाली जगह पे sensation हो रही है. Okay. Archana is having sensation in third eye. That is great. So third eye is about your perspective and going to the next level and stuff. So wherever you're having the pressure in the third eye area, because you're going to a transcendental journey internally on emotional healing basis, go to any pain that is stored in your whole system. This is like once and for all flush and clearing we do. So go to any pain in your whole system. All the pain that you have in your body, in your system, all the pain you've ever been through, bring that up. Bring it all up in the quotient point of your heart space. And love that pain and assure it that the joy that the pain is seeking, the love that the pain is seeking, it will be granted to it, and the impossible is possible when you believe it and you accept it. So now you are releasing the energy attached to it, and you're flushing out all the pain and suffering once and for all. You're detaching from suffering once and for all. And everything that is conjoined with the word suffering is untangling itself and loosening up its grip, and all the falcons literally stored in its cages are releasing itself in literally a ray and going out and oozing out literally at a very fast rate, accelerating on the Schumann resonance now and playing a little with the astronomical shift and any conjunction energy stored in there. It's breaking free from its barricade and opening up the cage and breaking the boulder, and any heaviness that is stored is releasing the heaviness from its presence, and breathe in the heaviness and breathe it out. And all of you can relax by releasing a huge amount of heaviness that is stored in your system. And breathe in and choose to relax and feel at peace, and you're ready to experience magic. So, how do you all feel? Yes, Shauna? How do you feel?
Like like at the start of this like session, I was
Yes.
I was feeling a lot anxious because I lack a lot of confidence and I have problems with my like, social anxiety, right? So then, so if you ask me the only part I hate about myself, or the only part I hate is my social anxiety. Oh, I did your exercise in that. Now you can now I guess you can spot a difference in me speaking earlier and
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I
So, go to
was
the
earlier I
part of
was a
you
bit
within.
trying to be restless and something like
Yeah,
that. But
so
now
I could still sense a restless part in you as you're talking.
so it has been a lot being very like calm. But I have a very important question to you.
Yes.
How can I use my internal energy to
Hmm.
boost my confidence and to relieve me of my social anxiety? Because
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to answer you even before your question. Because
yeah,
the moment you
because
started talking, I was feeling it energetically. That's why I was trying to tell you, because I was feeling your energy.
exactly
So,
because I have there has been some situations where I know I can do a lot better if I am very calm and composed, but the social anxiety and that like restlessness in my body like makes me a lot more ineffective, and hence as a like result of that I feel very sad about myself, and this is a part of me who is trying to like curve me down and down when the other half like wants me to excel in life. So this
there's
is
this
the
little part of you which is kind of curbing your presence. So, do you feel that energetic pressure and
yeah
this
absolutely
restlessness? Yeah, go to that restlessness area. And all the tension, all the anxiety stored in there is because of that learned helplessness, fear of uncertainty, of I'll mess up, I'll do something wrong, I'll do something that is like I'll mess it up. Wherever I'll mess it up, energy is there. Go to that energy, that little pressure. This is for all of you. And all of you, wherever you are having pain now, will release, because now that we are tapping into this energy. So, this anxious area zone that is there, as you choose to love it, and then you will be transforming to your confident self after this magically right now. So the energy stored in that zone, as you choose to love it, and feel that love in that area. All the pressure that is formulated up in that space, as you continue to love it, and We're entering a deeper zone of it. That is more anxiety, more anxiousness, more fear, more like, I want to break free. I want to speak. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I want to make most of my potential, but I'm helpless. So this helpless zone that is there, as you love it and release the fear conjoined in that space, and breathe in and breathe out. You should be feeling a lot more relaxation in this zone now. How do you feel, Shauna?
Yeah, I feel a lot more like relaxed. And I have having a kind of cold, the cold around my body, but
Yes.
a sensation of heat inside my body.
So you're feeling transformation now?
Yeah, I am feeling a lot relaxed, a lot like calm and composed right now.
That's great. So Neeru has a very important question, that why we go through the series of suffering in life. We suffer because we expect and attach to an emotion. And the moment we detach from feeling that pain, the moment we detach from feeling that pressure and choose to work on our feeling, and part of any suffering, you are suffering because there's a part of you. When I'm saying the word suffering, there's automatically a part of you which will feel the pressure and pain. So the suffering energy that is there in you is because you're attaching and you do not want to suffer. So the root where the suffering energy is creating a lot of anxiousness in you, when you choose to go there and choose that I don't choose to suffer, but I choose love. I choose love for myself and choose detachment from everything. Choose to be free from every emotion, and I choose not to attach from anything and release any form of attachment to get over the circle of suffering and attachment and be freed. And I'm cutting the cords and releasing all the heaviness. You will permanently be releasing any heaviness that is stored in your energy imprint, which is causing you to suffer and be in that perpetual circle of suffering. But it's a process until which you can adopt it. So there was another interesting question that I just saw. I'll just take that too. My head, God, can you save us? Still we face, why do God don't stop all of this? Okay. How do you recognize your own true potential? You recognize your true potential by going within and integrating your sense of self and focusing on your positive aspects, and also not disregarding your negative aspects, because all of those also stored hidden aspects of you which have aspects of you to release itself. And why don't God is all that is, and we are choosing to suffer is because it's our choice. And if we do not choose to attach, and if we do not choose to suffer, and we do not choose to feel bad about whatever is happening, and choose to remain in a state of detachment, then we will never be really feeling any kind of suffering and pain. And life, more or less, is a journey of learning how to let go and release that perpetual circle of suffering after the constant fight that we have of expectations. So once we let go of that cycle of expectation and cycle of really expecting to be loved from the outside, but choose to love ourselves, and anything that we are expecting from the outside, that expectation, wherever we are hurting, when we choose to release that attachment from that expectation and choose love and choose that nothing on the outside can affect us, but I choose to feel how I feel, you will be permanently freed from the cycle of suffering. Okay. Okay, how can we forget this? Okay, how can you forget suffering, or how can you detach? To detach from suffering is to realize that you are not your body. You are that experience, that essence in your soul. Your potential is that of that soul, and that super soul energy, that super spiritual soul energy that is seated in your core essence, that which has the potential. And that soul can transcend from one body to another, and that has been in many bodies and many consciousness, and that is here, there, and everywhere. and that is what is interplaying its role through you, which is an instrument. So you as an instrument is just an observer of life, and you've come with nothing and you'll go with nothing. So this every moment, this particular moment is the moment where you can have fun and enjoy your life and chill, or you can choose to suffer and feel that pain. But as you release that series of perpetual suffering and choose to feel that sense of joy in this present moment, and realize that everything that you're suffering from or attaching is because of an expectation that you have, and it's your expectation has not been met, and that is the part of you which is hurting. So the part of you which hurts is basically where its expectation has not been met, and assuring it that all its dreams can come true, all its desires can come true, and you create your reality, you manifest your reality, and telling this part that I create, yes, this is how you can change the energy altogether and change your reality. That is by the virtue of manifestation. This part of you, which is feeling constant state of anxiousness, constant state of pain, that part of you is choosing to be released from this perpetual cycle of suffering. And this perpetual cycle of suffering, which is keeping this part choked, is because it is feeling that all that I desire cannot come true. So this part of you which is feeling choked, that needs assurance that all that you desire can come true. So all the pain, all the stored anxiousness, suffering that you're storing is attracting more of those suffering because you're storing it. So once you release this suffering and free yourself from this suffering, you can expand and accentuate in a state emotionally where you can attract more love, more light, more truth, and more miracle in your life. But for that, you have to let go of that pain and suffering with that assurance and belief that that suffering is attracting more of suffering. So I don't want more suffering. So I'm releasing that suffering. So now you are free from the suffering. So any part of you which is feeling caged, which is feeling conjoined, which is feeling like a state of anxiousness, can just literally break free from that cycle of feeling heaviness and can just fly away. And that heaviness that is flying away is going to shift you to a state of complete sense of peace. And that's how the process works. So anything that you all would like to ask? I've answered all of your questions, and now I have a surprise for you all. Yeah, the repeated cycles and everything that you go through, and healing is literally like a muscle building exercise. You heal every day. If you work with a coach, if you work with a trainer, or if you really go through the self-help process, all of you know that I have a Hindi self-help course of how to love yourself. It's basically inner child healing and how to manifest a specific person, because you all and everybody out there loves to buy courses for love, but wouldn't really choose it for themselves. So I had to put that ultimate romance attraction bonus. But my main agenda of that course was to teach you all inner child healing and self-love. That's the main deal. Because once you've done that, so Nali had this question. I'm going to be answering it in the 31st episode. And I'm going to be answering it in short now. Actually, being a magnet of self-love, you can attract any person, any manifestation, anybody. Just being an embodiment of self-love and constantly choosing to love yourself in every part that is hurting. And I've shared that in my How to Love Yourself course. But I have a surprise for you all. And the surprise is that I have a 7 days inner child one-on-one program with me. And the 7 days inner child program is a 45 minutes per day where you work with me one-on-one, and it's actually of 8 days, because first day is considered day 0, because first day we interact. From second day, I start the process, and it's basically a 8 days program where you get to work with me one-on-one. The surprise is that for all of you who are a part of the workshop or will be watching the replay, and this offer is going to be valid till 17th of March. My inner child program is available for only 14,444 for 7 days, which is actually 8 days. But all of you will be getting it, and those who watch the replay till 17 will be receiving the inner child program at only 6,999 rupees for 7 days plus 1 day of the interactive session. And along with that, whoever is going for that will be getting a author's copy of the PDF version of my new book, which is again about inner child healing. It's chronological remembrance, a guide to inner child healing and integration. And you will also be getting my How to Love Yourself course, which is worth 999 rupees absolutely for free. And that will be only available for those who go for the 7 days program. So if you are interested, I'm going to be sharing the link in the WhatsApp uh, group which we have. And I'm going to be also sharing this link in the WhatsApp group soon. And also it will be enlisted in my description box. And the offer is only valid till 17th of March. You get to work with me one-on-one for 8 days, where I integrate layer by layer of your inner child for 45 minutes. And all of you who work with me know that my sessions extend. So my 45-minute session can extend to an hour. I really do not focus on the time. I just get into the flow. It just gets into the flow. So all of you, whoever are interested, let me know. And I'm going to be dropping in the details in the group. And this is just available for all of those who are part of this and watch the replay till 17th of March. After 17th of March, 12 a.m., I'm not going to be receiving booking with this offer. It's only till 17th of March, 12 a.m. After 12 a.m., I'm not going to be taking this offer. So it's only available till then, and it's a special offer. And all of you who really need it, all of you who really call to it, all of you who really just timed for it, will definitely be registering for it. And I am excited to work with all of you ahead. So all of you who will be interested, let me know in personal chat, and I'll get back to you all. And how was your overall experiences? Vaibhav, I've not really gotten a chance to speak with you. Hi, Vaibhav. Okay, maybe not around. So, Sonali, how was your experience?
Was great experience, ma'am. Thank you so much. I feel very lighter.
Thank you. Archana, how was your experience? Okay, so all of you who cannot talk on call, I understand. Okay. So, okay, I'll just check the chat. I feel better, Archana says. So, comment down below, or you can unmute yourself and share your experiences.
Hello.
Hello.
My experience is too good, ma'am. Thank you so much. Seriously, when I start this session, I after some time I was feeling so much heaviness in my head, but now I'm feeling so light, Matak. I'm feeling so relaxed. Uh, I can't tell you. I'm feeling like I got some answers of my questions. I'm feeling so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for coming. Sucheta says much more light. And yeah, I'll just read her comment. Much more happy and light. That's great. It was really lovely working with all of you. I'm going to be giving all the details of the magical offer that you all have. And see you all soon. See you all around. And I'm going to be having more workshops coming up ahead, maybe or something else. So, okay, Ishita says I feel good and I need it. And more thank you once again. Thank you to all of you for coming and joining. Thank you for being a part of this beautiful evening and making my Sunday so amazing. It was great and lovely to spend time together, and it literally was like an evening chit chat, evening meeting. So it was indeed That's
Seriously, ma'am, I want to say you should matlab ke, conduct these kind of like chit chat kind of a sessions, because when I used to watch your YouTube channel, sometime I have seen like your YouTube videos, जब आपने किसी को मतलब कि कोई आपसे मिलने आया है या कुछ आपने कभी अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया है, that time I got to know a lot about yourself, so I know a little bit about you. बट जब आप किसी के बारे में जानते हो ना, वी स्टार्ट गेटिंग क्यूरियस टू नो मोर। इवन व्हेन आई गॉट टू नो दैट यू आर अ ट्विन फ्लेम, तब मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता था कि ट्विन फ्लेम होता क्या है, बट आपकी वीडियोस देखने के बाद आई गॉट टू नो अ लिटिल कि ट्विन फ्लेम्स होते कौन है।
That's amazing. Maybe I will have a DJ Taro ma'am. Okay. Yes, Suchita. Like, it's so lovely to meet you all. Like, I've seen you all on YouTube comments, live sessions, especially in comment section. And it's a privilege to get to meet you all. I'll definitely be conducting twin flame awareness workshop sessions soon, very soon. That's like
मैम
there in
ट्विन
my
फ्लेम्स के बारे में तो आई हैव सीन दैट कितने सारे लोग इतना कुछ बताते हैं, बट पीपल नेवर टोल्ड अबाउट दैट सोलमेट्स। सो ये सोलमेट्स काइंड ऑफ कनेक्शंस कैसे होते हैं? उसमें भी कॉम्प्लिकेशंस लोगों को फील होता है, बट आई हैव
Yes,
सर्च
ma'am,
अ
I
लॉट
also
बट
want.
मुझे कभी भी उससे रिलेटेड है ना कंटेंट मुझे सिर्फ एक चैनल के अलावा कहीं मिला ही नहीं अबाउट सोलमेट। हर कोई ट्विन फ्लेम के बारे में बता रहा होता है। मतलब कि आई नो कि ये बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट जर्नी होती है और इट्स नॉट दैट इजी, और ये लोग स्टार सीड्स होते हैं, बट स्टिल यू नो कहते हैं सोलमेट्स जर्नी भी मुश्किल होती है और
Yes,
कभी-कभी उनके लिए
definitely.
बहुत सारे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस होते हैं, बट उसका आंसर्स हम कहाँ से ढूंढे?
You can go ahead, and there are many channels which talk about manifest a specific person. So they are basically hinting on soulmate or a karmic partner, any random partner basically, because there are many people who don't go for their twin flames, because what happens is that many people are meeting their twin flames after meeting somebody they really love, some soulmate, and then you meet a person who's your twin flame, and you might not really be happy about it because your journey is ultimately about God. So if a person is married and happy and then the person meets their twin flame, the person might not choose that journey and might just choose it on a 5-dimensional level. So it depends. It varies from person to person, because twin flame journey is like an amplification of all your inner triggers that will be given to you in a later, which you have to integrate and clear and heal, and then clear your karma and transcend to a state where you literally can be your inner self exactly on the outer self, and then the union happens. So soulmate journey is more difficult than twin flame journey, because twin flame journey is like you just integrate yourself, come to a state of wholeness, union happens. Soulmate journeys, you guys might be on the different page. You have to come to their page or bring them to their page through Vashikar and all that. I don't know how to do that. If any of you all know, teach me. So, and all of that shit, all of that jazz. And then you kind of bring them to your place. How that's done, I don't know, because I will never take so much of pressure and time. I won't give so much of time to a boy. I would rather focus on my work. So
So it has been a very I just really liked our session today, and it has been an like amazing experience for me. And like since I know you for a long time, so I'm like extremely happy and proud of you for the way you have been spreading the awareness, and like I guess I know you since the days you actually started your YouTube channel and started this Twin Flame. So
yes,
I'm really proud and happy for you. Like if
thank
you
you.
karate, we
Yes,
used
you
to
know
work
me
on a
since
right?
Quantum Dynamic, not even this channel, Quantum
Hmm.
Dynamic, like our official channel was born. Like, you know me since then. I had like shared it with everyone. First day you create a channel and share. Hey, I have a channel. Subscribe.
Yeah. So I know you for a long time. So I'm very
Yes,
proud and very like glad of
thank
you.
you.
The way you have been spreading the awareness, and I'm very eager to more of your this kind of like sharing experiences and positive positive session. So yeah, I'm extremely happy and thank you,
Thank
Chirasri.
you. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. See also now, whenever there are sessions ahead, I'm going to be updating you all. So this group is going to be there, and you all are there in my WhatsApp, right? Keep disturbing me with WhatsApp messages. So I'm going to be sharing it with all of you. Thank you for being a part of my evening and making my Sunday so delightful. Like it was literally like I am looking forward to more such chit chat sessions. Like this is going to be like fun. Keeping up to me, it's rare. Like it's like so much fun to meet you all. So thank you and love and light to you all. Namaste. Have a great day. A typical dialogue you all always hear from me. And since this is going up on YouTube, do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update again. Thank you and love and light, you all. Namaste.